Hello everyone, it's me again, Lucky-kyun, and somebody wants me to make a tutorial video about the basics in Photoshop. I'm not even sure if I knew the basic, but let's just do it like this. I am going to teach you the essentials in drawing by using the Photoshop application. This is for those people who just open Photoshop and very new to the application, like they have no idea where to go first, where to click first, doesn't have any ideas about the digital applications for drawing. Photoshop is really intimidating software, especially for those beginners in digital art. This video will help you to start and finish a drawing, from sketch to line art to color and to shadow. For now, let's just avoid those complicated shortcuts and start with a very basic shortcut like brush tools, eraser tool, the zoom in tool, zoom out tool, the how to resize your brush shortcuts for a faster workflow. So that's enough talking and let's do the drawing. Before everything else, I want to let you know that I'm still giving away my XP Pen Artist 15.6 Pro once I reach 20,000 subscribers. All you need to do is to subscribe to my channel, then go to this video or click the link on the description below, answer my question, who is your favorite artist, and write down your answer to the comment section of that video. So the very first thing we need to do is to create a blank canvas. Go to File and New, and you can choose a size. For now, let's pick inches and rename it with Chunli. For now, I prefer the size 8x10, that's 8R. That is a printable size, and make sure your resolution is 300 so that your drawing won't be pixelated. I also prefer this size if ever you'll be uploading this to Instagram, because this is a preferable aspect ratio in portrait so that nothing will cut off. So now we are in Zoom tool, the shortcut is Z, and now you can right click to the canvas, fit in screen to fit the canvas to the screen. This is the ruler. If you want it to be seen and unusable, you can go to View, then Rulers. Now you can hide and unhide it, but now we don't need it just yet, so let's start from here. So now I don't use white canvas for drawing, so I'll change it to gray, any shades of gray. Now let's go to our paint bucket tool, the shortcut is G, and fill our canvas by using it. Now we're going to start our drawing, and we go to our brush, or the shortcut is B. We're not going to draw in this layer, not here. Press Ctrl Z to revert your actions. We're not going to draw here, we need to create a new layer. If you want to pick a brush, you can go here. These are the default brushes. If you want to change its size, you can drag this around, or you can just type the exact size of your brush. The usual size when I'm sketching is 20 pixels. The hardness and the softness of its edge can also be set here. As long as you are using the brush tool, you can also do that by doing a right click on the canvas. Now if you want to resize your brush with a shortcut, you can press the open and close bracket. Now we don't want this hard brush to do our sketch, so let's change it. Let's go to Settings. You can go to Window, Brush Settings. You can actually see the shortcut there. Now you have it. Usually I check the shape dynamics and the transfer, but let's focus first to the shape dynamics and see what it can do. This will only work to drawing tablets, not for mouse. What shape dynamics could do, you can actually see it here. This means the thickness of your brush will depend on the pressure you apply. When you press it lightly, you'll get a thinner result, and if you press it harder, you'll get a thicker result. Now let's see what transfer could do. Transfer controls the opacity. You can change the pressure level here. By the way, make sure to set this into pen pressure. Okay, transfer is like if you apply it lighter, you'll get a lighter result, and the more pressure you apply, you'll get a darker result. So this is the brush settings I need for sketching. Before we start sketching, the eraser I use is the hard drawn brush so that it will be easier to erase. So now, let's start sketching. For now, you're on your own. So now we're done with our sketch. I just made it simple so that we'll be able to finish this quickly. Now don't forget to save it first to avoid doing it over again whenever the application crashes. So go to File, then Save, or Save As if you want to choose the location. Make sure to save it as PSD so that you'll still be able to edit it. So now since the drawing is a little bit smaller, let's try to resize it. Select the Move tool and make sure the Show Transform control is checked so that you'll be able to see this transform control and can resize the image. If you have an older version of Photoshop, you have to hold the Shift to maintain the proportion when resizing it. So now we're done with this, let's now proceed to the line art. Let's lower down the opacity so that we'll be able to see our drawing clearly on top of it. So now let's create a new layer so that we won't be able to accidentally draw something to our sketch. Let's rename our layers by double clicking the name and name it according to what it is to avoid confusion. Now the brush that we need for the line art is the hard drawn pressure size, or you can just turn off the transfer to get rid of the opacity control. For the line art, you can choose a thin stroke or the thicker one. You can make it 5 pixels to make it look a little realistic, but since I'll be doing a cartoon emoji, I'll just gonna keep it to 25 because I like it to have a thicker line. Now to make a cleaner line art, let's have the smoothing on. So what does it do? It will help you to control your strokes. Let's try to make a bow here without the smoothing on. It looks a little ugly, and it could be uglier if you have a lower pressure level specs of your pen tablet. Let's see what it does if we turn it to 100%. Now it is finer, but it won't let you draw faster. Some people is fine with that, but for me, I'll just prefer it to be lowered. Now no one is actually stopping you to zoom in to have a finer line. Now we're done with the line art. Let's now proceed to flat colors. We can now hide the sketch to be able to see our drawing clearly. We can also assign a color to our layers to make it less confusing and easier to find whenever you lose it after you try to make a bunch of layers. Now let's create a new layer for our color. Now I'm going to teach you a method which is a little bit confusing at first, but if you keep on doing this, it will be easier and helpful for you in the future. It is cleaner and faster. Now select the Magic Wand tool or press W for the shortcut. Now make sure that you have selected the Wand tool by double clicking it and not this Quick Selection tool. Now you have to select the line art layer first, then select the outside of the drawing and click this Quick Mask tool right here, or you can just press Q so that we can see the selected area clearly. There's actually a lot of use about this Quick Mask tool, but for now, we're gonna use it just to check the area we've selected. Now we see that we didn't close the line enough, so let's fix that. Deselect the selection by pressing Ctrl D, or you can just right click to the selected area and choose Deselect. Now it's fixed. We have to select those area like this hole right here by holding the shift and click it to add selection. Now it's good. Actually, the Quick Mask color is inverted. The default looks like this. The selected area was the transparent one and the unselected area was the red one. But I prefer the opposite, so to do that, double click the Quick Mask tool and in color indicates select the selected areas. Now we are good. Now we're going to expand the selection to push further through the line. Go to Select, choose Modify, then Expand. Then you can assign how many pixels you want to add. I usually add 1 pixel, but since I have a thicker line, I can add 2 or 3. Let's see how it looks like whenever you expand it. Let's zoom in, expand, and add 1 pixel. Now we have added 1 pixel expansion. If you have a thicker line, you can add more than 1, and for me, I'm going to add 3. Now we're done expanding the selection. We are now going to inverse the selection. Go back to your Magic Wand tool, right-click to the selected area, then choose Select Inverse. The selected area is now your character. This is where we start to color. Now let's make a silhouette by using the selection. Select the bucket tool. Make sure to uncheck the all layers. Now pick a color gray, an exact 35% gray. We actually have a reason why do we have to pick that. Now fill the color inside the selection. Then just select. Now you have the silhouette. To avoid painting outside the silhouette like this, let's put a transparent lock to the layer. Now the problem is solved. To color the silhouette, you have to use the paint bucket tool again. But now you have to check the all layers, so that when you use it, it will detect the line. If you don't do that, you could feel the entire silhouette. Now, do you remember what I said? We have to color the silhouette into 35% gray. This is the reason why. If you're going to make it a white, then we color something on it, this is what happens. You can actually clean this up, but it's a waste of time. That is why we have to pick 35% gray so that when we color it, it will push through the line, at least a bit. Now what if we have a line gap like what we have here? All you need to do is to close the line with the color. Now fill the color and just make a little cleanup on those mess. Now I also want you to learn about the lasso tool. The shortcut is L. This tool is very helpful, so you have to practice using this. At first it's kinda bit hard to control, but you'll get used to it sooner. Now we're finally done with the flat colors. Let's start putting the shadows. There's 2 ways on doing it. There's a classic or the technical. Let's try the classic first. Let's duplicate the layer by dragging it to the new layer icon just to make sure we have a backup layer. Now let's create a clipping mask by right-clicking the layer and choose Create Clipping Mask. The clipping mask tool is a bit similar to transparent lock, but it is basing to the layer underneath it. Now we're going to put some blush on. Select the main layer, use the magic wand to select the flat color, for example, her face, and go back to your coloring layer. Now pick the soft brush with the transfer turned on. Now you can apply the blush to her face. You'll do the same thing again when applying the shadow, and do this over and over again until you apply shadows to the entire drawing. Now that's the classic way to put a shadow, trusting your art ability. Now we're gonna try the technical way. Now let's delete that layer, add new layer, and set it up to multiply. Make sure to clip mask it, because if you don't, this is what happened. So now let's add all the shadows by using the brush and lasso tool. Don't worry about how dark it is because we can adjust that later. Don't ever choose black for a shadow. Shadow color will always depend on the environment, but for now, I'm just gonna pick purple to put some little style on it. Now we're done, we can now adjust it by lowering the opacity. Now we're going to add some blush by doing the same thing before, but let's just add another layer to avoid messing things up. We can also make a soft shadow by selecting the face again and use the multiply layer to add a shadow by using your soft brush. Now here's the problem. You lose the exact color of the shadow you used because you switched colors a while ago. So how can we get the same color again? Just select the eyedropper tool, go to the sample on the toolbar and change it into current layer. Then eyedrop the color of the shadow. Now you got the color, we're going to change it back again because we're gonna use it for later. Now of course the color of the skin shadow shouldn't be purple because she looks dead. So what you should do is to select all the skin color by using the magic wand. And then select the multiply layer again. Let's go to image, adjustments, and choose the hue saturation. From here you can change the color of the shadow by dragging this left to right. Now that's much more better. Now after the shadow we have to add the highlights of course. Add new layer and rename it to highlights. From here I'm going to choose the color manually. I'm going to use the lasso tool and soft brush to make these highlights. I can actually change the layer effect to color dodge, but I always prefer to find my own colors by eyedropping the mid-tone color and adjust the colors through the palette. Now what if we want to blur some of the shadows? We can always use the blur tool, but we can do better than that. Now select the areas you want to put the blur, go to smudge tool, make sure you choose the smudge tool, then change the strength to 100%. Of course we can always use our soft brush as our backup. Then change the eraser into soft eraser. Smudge tool is kinda bit lag, so if you have a slower computer, just do it slowly. Now we want to push it further. I want to change the color of the line art. Create new layer, create a clipping mask to the line art. Now make sure you turn back the eyedropper tool to all layers, because we're gonna need that. Use a hard brush this time and color pick the darkest area. Let's say we pick the shadow of the blue. Now change the color to a little bit darker, and then your color. Do this again to other areas. Now I forgot to tell you about the rotation tool. You just have to press R and rotate. You can also hold the shift to rotate into a certain angle. So now perhaps that is the final product. We're just gonna add some gradient background to make it less boring. Not the best, but covered all the information we need. So thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. Maybe that's a bit a lot, but what I just taught you is really helpful for future techniques and methods. It is very helpful that I'm still even using most of it until now. I remember my beginner times in Photoshop. I don't even know those things like clipping mask. I even use black shadows. I don't use different color shadows. I don't even create a silhouette for cleaner process. My workflow is very slow, and so this right now, what I taught you is very helpful to, for faster workflow for your drawing in digital art. If you want more of these videos in the future, tutorials about Photoshop or drawing or fundamentals, a lot of stuff about art, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell below, and maybe that's it. See you soon.